Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarLadder Star Series Season 8. It is day 18, and this is game 2 of 6 today. We are going to see ourselves 3 games in a row of Na'Vi, and after that we're going to see 2 games featuring SSD, and the opponents will be OSG Gaming, The Retry, and Relax for Na'Vi. Not Relax actually. I mean not The Retry, but flip side. But the retry will face SSD, and also SSD will face OSG, which is a team that we see right here. So this is their first of second of 2 games today. Na'Vi on the Radiant side, OSG Gaming on the Dire side. Of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by G Advance. Welcome back.
Sup, I'm glad to be here. And what's OSG's roster now? I'm so confused because I'm pretty sure Inquisitor was on Aspera.
Aspera disbanded.
Which is now disbanded, which doesn't surprise me. I think they were just that little bit too unstable. But they're also now playing with Stomper and Krilly. So that's like, Stomper was on... What team was Stomper on beforehand? He was on a team with Cat4KM. I know that. I can't remember who they were both on though.
Cat4KM was on Aspera though.
Okay, so this is... Right, so do you remember when...
well, he was on the same team as Inquisitor was on.
Yeah, okay. So this team is Oslik Aspera 4FC.
Yeah.
This is like Flip Quantic Mouse side. I remember that team. Well, now they're Sigma, and now they're really good.
They're playing a stand-in, so you know we can't consider them totally Oslik Gaming. Let's take a quick look at how the teams are doing, because Na'Vi, they are having only 9 games played, 3 games lost, 6 games won. Now, I have to say, I'll say again, I'm kind of worried for the for Na'Vi and Alliance to make it to the playoffs, because SSD, Rockscape, Sigma, and Fnatic have all lost less games than Alliance and Na'Vi have, so it's kind of tricky. OSG, they've been playing 9 games as well, lost 5 though, and won 4. They have been able to get one of those wins up against Alliance though, so they are kind of a giant slayer in this case. Maybe they can do the same thing here. They did do that with a Huskar, and you were casting that game actually.
That was one of the silliest, most like enjoyable for all the stupid reasons games I've ever casted. Like, Huskar is a ridiculous hero. Like, and I think it was actually a situational pick. I think it made sense in their game because it was going up versus a lone druid, which means that the Na'Vi respect ban it. But it was going up against a lone druid, which means the ultimate does, because it does percentage damage, is really powerful versus both the bear and the hero. And he is very, very good in lane. Other than that, Huskar's a terrible hero.
Navi's turn to pick.
It does, like, Na'Vi did their homework. They banned it out. They rewarded with the ban. Slark is still in the pool though, if OSG Gaming wants to go for something spectacular and unexpected. I have to say, I do like Navi's lineup already. They have got Havos Luna again, which is a hero that we've seen him play for most of the games in StarLadder this season. Bristleback is there as well as the Crystal Maiden, so they've got the setup for a strong, either aggressive trial lane or just a suicide lane Bristleback. And have the Crystal Maiden
They could
in the
even
jungle.
run dual lanes.
Yeah.
Is very, very possible. Crystal Maiden going into the jungle is kind of defensive and maybe something that Na'Vi like to do. Na'Vi generally run defensive lanes for sort of about 6 minutes. Maybe Funnick will go and randomly kill people because he's a very talented off-lane player, but otherwise they're very defensive very early on in the game, and then they go aggressive once they've got just 1 or 2 like key small items, like little things like magic wands and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it can all work out. Oh, there we go. Oh, I called it. I called it. I did. It's kind of obvious, I guess. No, it wasn't. But it was kind of... Yeah, I wasn't really expecting it. I said it, but oh well. Still going to be a Slark. It's still going to be a bit of an unexpected factor. Though, the thing about a Slark in this this patch is, I kind of think he needs to have... Like, he needs a bit more than he used to, I feel. He needs to get a better start. He needs to get a place where he can get his farm secure. And I'm kind of wondering if Na'Vi is actually going to do that, because if they're indeed running dual lanes, well, then he is not going to have the amount of free farm that he wants to have, especially not with the Bristleback already there.
Yeah, and I think the idea of Bristleback versus Slark is Bristle should be a relatively strong hero versus him, just because Bristle can just turn around, and whilst Slark will essentially use him as basically a big stat pin cushion that he can just steal stats from, you won't do very much damage to the Bristleback. You might even take more damage from it. It's interesting to see. Slark is still kind of an unknown entity. I think he's arguably overpowered once he gets those couple of items that he does need. And like you said, he does need a bit more than he perhaps used to, but he can be ridiculously difficult to deal with. And it looks like Na'Vi will probably go pretty defensive with this.
Yeah, with an Enigma in the jungle, Crystal Maiden will probably be sitting up against that Luna, and I think indeed just get their items up and only then start rotating around. They will take a bit longer than average to get all their items up, because Inquisitor is going to make their life difficult by just denying creeps, making sure that one lane at least will go the way of OSG, unless they die a lot in that lane, which I'm not really expecting, because also they have a fairly defensive lane coming out there, defensive lineup coming out there. Even the Slark at the early game is defensive, so with that leap. But let's take a look at who's playing what. We've got ourselves indeed a Vos playing the Luna with a nice tail again. We've got Funnick playing his Bristleback, will mean that Puppy will play his signature hero Enigma, Dendy on his Puck, and that will leave Kuroki with the Frozen Feather set playing the Crystal Maiden. I like this headpiece, I do.
That set looks really, really cool, although it reminds me a little bit too much of the Thor films. Do you know what I mean? She looks kind of like one of the characters in Thor.
Really?
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, she just looks like she would be like a side character or something. Like, I am the princess of blah 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 land in the 6th world or something.
Well, that would
It looks
count
like
for
that.
the same one for the other sets as well. I just, like, I don't really care that much about the staff or about the rest. I care about the hood, because it's cool.
Yeah, I like the hood and the cloak. I think the staff just looks terrible, honestly.
The staff
I
is
like
just a bit generic.
Yeah, I have a Force staff on that hero, and that looks cool as hell, because you're like, this is my item.
I have the staff of something with an owl, a genuine something staff.
That sounds pretty cool, but either way, on the side of Oslo Gaming, Krilly here, actually picking up the Clockwork, not a very usual hero for him. Currently up on the top lane, his support in the lane is going to be Stomper up on the Visage, so really odd lanes here from Oslo Gaming. Chomi, he is going to go in that mid 1v1 matchup, he's going to be on the Pugna, and on the bottom lane it's going to be Inquisitor as well as Big Gnome. Looks like they're trying to win this lane more than any other for me.
Yeah, if they can shut down Havos here, well, not really using too much resources, just 2 heroes, then they'll be having a good time. And of course they realize that Puppy is going to be in the jungle, and Crystal Maiden of course also will start off by trying to get some farm in the jungle. That means that shutting down Havos might be easier than it normally would. And with Inquisitor denying creeps all the time, regardless of if they are indeed going to be able to harass him away from the lane, they're already denying him farm. I do like Krilly's clock, by the way. He did normally play also the off lane for his previous team, of course, for 4FC or for his current team, whichever you can call it. So he does.
Oh, sorry, I just never seen him on clock.
And he normally
I don't
gets
think.
a lone druid, but he plays clock quite often. Still for his team, I think.
Yeah, that team played a lot of different sort of random heroes because it was essentially an amateur team that just happened to be really, really good.
Yeah. That's a part of the shame that they are no longer there, because it was just that. Like,
yeah, it makes me really sad that they're gone.
The proof that if you are a group of friends that just likes to play Dota 2, you can still get high in competitive games if you're just good enough. That was just that.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
But either way here, for the moment, these lanes look... I really, really like the way these lanes are going for Oslo Gaming. I'm a little bit worried about how they'll transition, though, because I think they have a lot of different really odd elements to their lineup. The Pugna is really, really strong push, but they don't have much in the way of team fight to support that. So if Oslo Gaming go for a push and then Na'Vi just group up, I don't think Oslo can actually take the tower versus them. I mean, it really depends on, you know, if heroes like Slark and Clockwork can get in and protect that Pugna in the fight, but it's very, very easy to focus down a Pugna. So I think their draft is a little bit eclectic here. It's almost like they don't have one singular plan.
Yeah, and in the meantime, I mean, even with the knives coming out from Inquisitor, ooh, the pounce
bottom
actually hits
lane.
upon a Vost. Perhaps this is gonna turn into a kill. There is a Crystal Main coming in. He has a Frostbite, and that should keep a Vost safe. He's actually gonna try to turn this around. There's a Lucent Beam rating for him, and Inquisitor will actually take the first blood. That was so close. Crystal Main's right click was in the air already. Kuroki is looking to finish it off. He has got another Frostbite, another hit as well. That's gonna be a double kill for him. But it is only happening after his carry has already died. That means that he's getting a lot of experience from that, by the way. But nonetheless, first blood goes away.
He
for
might
OSG.
die here again, though. Bignum goes on him. If he gets pounced, he's dead.
Yeah, and there is a pounce waiting for it. I think this is gonna be indeed a kill. Lucent Beam's still gonna come in, and actually, with the creeps coming, I think if the pounce was there earlier, perhaps there was a chance, but the creeps there just hurt Bignum too much. And he wanted to save the pounce in case he had to get away still, which probably was the right thing to do.
Yeah, they come off relatively even for that. Oslic Gaming, they do get the first blood on her Vost, which is very, very important. They do lose both their heroes for it, and that puts the Crystal Maiden really far ahead. She's almost level 5. She's going to be there relatively soon, probably around the 4-minute mark. And that's going to be kind of scary for the side of Oslic Gaming, because Crystal Maiden does have a lot of nuke potential, and I think that's something that will really hurt the side of Oslic Gaming's lineup, because really, who do they have that can take nukes outside of Clockwork, especially this early on, where Slark doesn't have his ultimate to get away from that?
Yeah, it's gonna be really difficult, and indeed that Slark, I mean, they might be able to shut down a Vost right now, but what are they gonna do after? And that's pun. Did you get that?
Is that a pun?
It?
No.
No, it wasn't a pun. It was a
idea what
it
you're
wasn't a
on
pun.
about.
It was a reference. Did you get the reference?
What's it a reference to? Is it a reference?
I'm
Are you sure?
I'm gonna not say it because I want people in the chat to guess it first. So I'm waiting 2 minutes.
All right. Well, either I have not seen the thing that you're talking about,
Heard.
or you're crazy,
Heard.
or heard.
Mm-hmm.
So is this like a song or something?
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh,
Okay,
Punic
I don't
might be
think
in
I've
some
heard
trouble. He has got the bristle back on though, so he should be fine. A soul sumption will still come out, but it's not gonna do enough. It's closer. The flare.
Oh,
It-
that's a sad moment for him. He gets hit by the flare just after using his salve. He's
Oh,
saved
what's
alive
happening?
from what?
Dude,
Oh,
please!
it's more than just them. It's Cinderin and
Yeah.
some person from LGD as well. This is bad.
What the hell? Oh, it is also one from OSG. Volvo, please.
What if it's not Volvo? What if the Earth is what if this is Krypton? It's about to explode.
I don't know what Krypton is apart from Superman stuff.
Yeah, that was his home beforehand, but it blew up randomly in a day.
Oh, like that. If we're gonna blow up.
Yeah, what if that's it? What if their house was first to go? Although I guess you couldn't reconnect, so apparently not. It's just
Everybody will be back
Volvo.
again. Welcome DDoS. No, 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 no. Why do they think it's DDoS?
I don't think they do.
Oh,
I think they're
Villain.
just they're just
They're
blaming Vilat. That's
No,
okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You guys blame for it. So I am hoping for the 2 minutes to be almost over so people can actually get it. Oh well. Well, I mean, Funnick will live. That was close for him. Very close. He's also out of region right now. He's still chewing on a tango, but other than that, I think he'll take the experience coming into the lane, and then he'll have to kind of rotate. Unless he gets some regen right now in the courier. There is a full bottle in the courier. Hello. Bottle. Nicely done. Funnick is going to be okay. He's going to be fine. Yeah, and Vost, I mean, considering he is being shut down, his last hit, he's 10-1. Compare that to the Slark, who's 12 for 10. I mean, there's still... Bignum is not even that far ahead, as I think he should be. Especially with 10 denies already. But we'll take a look at how things are going here, because Kuroki and Puppy... Never mind, they show themselves. They're not going to do anything, especially not with a Puppy without mana.
Yeah, looks like he's actually just picked up straight arcane boots here. So he wants to operate with his team a little bit more. Generally, if you're going to be really greedy, you just go straight soul ring. But if you want to work with your team, then obviously arcane boots, they're slightly less efficient as far as mana for you is concerned. But they're helping with her Vost and Kuroki, and I think that's really important here because whilst Luna's not a great hero in the lane, she does have a 6-second cooldown nuke, which means she can pretty much spam that off as long as somebody else is providing her mana, and both Kuroki as well as Puppy are going to be doing that and trying to push down the tier 1 now.
Yeah, apparently during all that server stuff, the in-game audio also went crazy. So yeah, it was just server having some issues here. I mean, I like the push coming out from Na'Vi. It's interesting to see Puppy going for his arcane boots rather than for something like a soul ring, which he normally actually buys. So having a bit of a different game plan, but trying to help Avos this way because he might not be getting farm, but early towers is going to give him that extra bit of gold. Show me in the meantime, he's sitting on 16 last hits. Well, then he's sitting on 33 to 17. That's a huge difference right there. And right now, this Pugna is not going to be able to do anything apart from just blast towers away with help of his team. In the meantime, actually on the bottom lane, we might have something in trouble. There's still going to be a kill for the Crystal Maiden. Lich dies, but Curly is going to die as well. Kuroki got pounced upon, but he doesn't care. Big Num already back in time. It is 2 for 0, and Na'Vi, they are not seemingly backing off. They even give Kuroki a salve so he can stick around. Big Num shouldn't die though. He should be able to back off, but might be a tier 1 tower, tier 2 tower rather, is going to go down here as well.
Yeah, he really wants to try and grab the creep wave and pull this back, but there's no chance of doing that. If he does that, Havost as well as Kuroki will just very quickly nuke him down. And they're going to do about half damage to the tower, a little bit less, but definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Funnick?
Yeah, Funnick got himself a solo kill on the Visage, who was left alone here. Of course, Clockwork rotated bottom, so Funnick could just take that one. He almost died to a tower, but because he had some bottle charges, he was able to keep himself alive. Didn't get a tower, and actually his team bottom didn't get a tower either, but did do half the damage to it, so that is pretty decent as well. Next push, it should go down, but Na'Vi with that tower kill, with also the top lane now going in favor of them, and of course the mid lane already won by Na'Vi. I would say that this game is in hands of Na'Vi, despite them trying to shut Havos down, because he's just not shut down at the moment, not as much as he could be. Not as much as he could.
Definitely, and I think this is a real issue with Oslo Gaming's lineup. It's very, very all-in on their lanes. They kind of need things to go well early for them. Na'Vi have a very, very stable lineup. Things like Puck, as well as Enigma and Luna. Oslo Gaming don't have a proper old-school carry like a Luna. They don't really have somebody like that. They don't have much in the way of team fight spells. They have Lich, but Lich is very unreliable. I really like Na'Vi's lineup.
In some trouble. Then his first rotation, he gets himself a kill, kills out the Clockwork. And Stomp. That's where the trouble comes into play for a Visage support. Because he's nice in terms of, you know, counter initiation with the soul assumptions and everything, but if you need to save his carry, you can't rely on him. The only thing he can do is slow, and even that was not possible this time.
Yeah, Stomper really can't do much versus those two combination of heroes there. Puck is very, very maneuverable and is very able to get away from the fact that he's Grave Chilling and Soul Assumption, able to dodge spells like that, and Bristleback just turns away and then his damage does hardly anything, so not a great support hero versus those two heroes, and they just lose their cap.
Yeah, that's also gonna be a pickup for Na'Vi again. Dendi was almost getting the last hit, but Avos with the Lucent Beam to snipe it off. He's found that he can get more farm middle. And taking some away from Dendi. It can happen. It's not too bad. Dendi is getting okay farm. He's only 1k away from his Blink Dagger, so he'll soon have it. And, I mean, right now, with the Hand of Midas recipe picked up by Avos, he is almost ready with that as well. Oh, wait a second. Perhaps OSG can actually make something happen here at top. They go for Phonic. The slow is already there. Soul Assumption is getting built up. They should be able to get this kill. Very nicely done. That is a hook shot coming out from Curly to make that happen. And if they can... Like, oh, never mind. I was gonna say if they can do something off the back of this, perhaps push further. But already Dendi and Kuroki top lane, so that's not gonna happen. Because that's gonna be the main battle for now. Because Na'Vi, they're probably gonna wait until Avosa has a bit more farm. But map control is gonna be the more important thing. So taking down towers. Getting fights and then taking down towers, or just trying to split push. Something like that. That's OSG's plan right now, or that should be their plan rather.
Yeah, they really need a couple more items before heroes like the Slark and such are really ready to fight. Right now, the Slark is just sitting on an Orb of Venom. He's actually saving up money, which kind of worries me in some way, because maybe he's going for Hand of Midas, and personally, I don't think it's a particularly intelligent plan to go late game versus Na'Vi. Not because I think Na'Vi's lineup is better, but purely because it's a more experienced team.
Yeah, the server seems to be having some issues once again with kicking out both Havost and Kuroki, but they should be back here soon. I mean, I believe they're just at their houses, right? So that means that they're not in the same place either. Nah, it's just a server. Stupid server. Well, they're back. It's good.
Yeah, I think Na'Vi are just at, like, their own places.
Yeah.
I don't even know about Na'Vi's team house. Do Na'Vi have a team house? I imagine they do, right?
Somewhere in
It's a
Kiev
pretty
they
big team.
train.
Yeah. I think they have, like, almost like a scrim house rather than, like, a team house. They don't, like, live there all the time, though.
No. They have their own places.
Yeah.
But they have to as well, because Kuroki is still doing university on the side. And Puppy is living with his girlfriend, I believe. So, you know, it would be kind of mean to the girlfriend to live in a team house.
Yeah.
In a team house.
That would be horrifyingly,
Yeah.
like, that could go really badly. She could be very annoyed.
Indeed.
I imagine.
I would be.
I always think that's really impressive, though, when professional players play up to this level and, like, still do, like, university
Things
stuff.
on the side. Yeah, it is.
Dire's middle tower
It
is
is
under
Like, that's
impressive.
really... I couldn't do that.
You have to be very smart for that. But then again, they normally are. At least Kuroki is. In this case.
Kuroki has the air of an intelligent person. Like, you see him, he just looks
You
smart.
see him and he looks dead to me, to be honest. Nicely done for OSG. Malefice coming out up on Visage, and he is going to be dead man too. A Vos coming in, and Calypso actually popped. He won't be able to get Big Num, but Big Num stuck in the black hole. Puppy keeps on casting because he knows he's there. Now visible again. Dark Pack coming up, but he'll run. He'll live as Phonic still takes away the...
Radiant's
What are you
middle
doing?
tower
Oh,
is under
but
attack.
Puppy... Dundee gets a kill. But,
Phonic is continuing to go on Bignum here.
Ooh.
Oh, no,
he
he
did-
just
he did
forces
get
him
the
back even
familiars.
further.
Dire's top tower
No,
is
they
under
got the
attack.
familiars, yeah. I think that was actually pretty good there for the side of Na'Vi.
That
And
was
that shows
great.
why they picked up the Enigma. Because Black Hole is really powerful versus Slot. Because whilst you can't see him, you can lock him down and you know where he is. So that was a really strong fight from the side of Na'Vi. They're really taking this game away, and I'm very surprised because I thought Ozlet Gaming's lanes were very capable. I thought they would be perhaps winning the game at this point, but doing very well here.
Well, that's kind of optimistic. I thought at least that they would have more time to get their own game plan going, but it doesn't look like Na'Vi wants to give them time. I mean, even though Havos picks up a hand of Midas, he has been with his team every step of the way, and actually comes a hook shot. Kuroki might be dead again. Lich Ultimate flying around as well. And it will be enough to take him down, but perhaps they can take something in return. Phonic, still on full health, is able to take down Creely. Lich dies as well. Big Nom out of his Shadow Dance again, tries to get away. He will be killed off though. The Dark Pack still coming out. Might be enough, but no, never mind. Denny with a double kill. 3-4-1. One Crystal Maiden
Radiant's
dies
bottom tower is under attack.
for 3 heroes in Oslick Gaming, of which 2 were cores.
This is really, really bad for the side of Ozlet Gaming. They need to group up and take a couple of kills or take a tower or something right now because Na'Vi look revitalized. They haven't looked particularly great recently. And I was a little bit worried just because they picked up Puck, and recently Puck has been very, very underwhelming. But it's going really, really well for them. And Dendi looks a lot better on this game. He's got a really good impact. Looks like he's going to go on Inquisitor here. Easy kill for him.
That's for your
Yeah.
impertinence.
Inquisitor is level 7. He's having a bit of a tough time. I mean, look at the net worth alone. We have got Crystal Main still very low because they constantly trade Kuroki's life. Well, twice apparently. They trade Kuroki's life for the lives of OSG players. And he's sitting on 2k gold net worth. But then the highest for OSG is such a big difference. There's 2k difference between the highest of OSG and the
Dire's
second
top
lowest
tower
of
is under
Na'Vi.
attack.
And in terms of levels, I mean, the
Radiant's
same
bottom
thing
tower
there.
is
It's
under
just
attack.
2 levels difference between the second highest of... Oh, almost hook shot. But yeah, you can see that. It's just too big of a difference right now for OSG to actually try to fight, but they still try to fight. Might be able to pick up a Crystal Maiden again, and yes they do! Oh my god, comes the pause!
Wow, everybody just disappeared from the game. Hopefully we'll see everybody reconnecting, but yeah, these fights are going really, really bad for the side of OSG. Wow, everybody just dropped from Na'Vi.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody dropped, including Dendi. Dendi actually died in that fight. Stuck around too long on the end, but I think maybe he was already disconnected by that time. I'm like, are you disconnecting?
No, I've got perfectly fine connection.
Me too! How
Speaking
awesome
of which,
is
I'm
that?
very smug. I'm very smug about my connection because we're getting like super fast broadband where I am now, and it's really funny because we've had like the worst internet here for the longest time, and now we're getting like silly good internet. I don't even know how fast it is, but it's
But I don't
it's
know if
actually
it's the
stupid.
internet. I don't think it's the internet. I think it's just
No, I don't
Valve
think it is
saying,
that.
you
I
know
think we're
what?
just lucky.
I appreciate your work. Stay in the game.
Maybe.
You know?
I'd like that. That would be nice.
That would be nice. Well, in the end, it's everybody backs off, so it stays at 2-1, which is good. Na'Vi, they couldn't really go in again because they already lost 2, and OSG also don't want to be risking more coming out from that one, as we actually have got Luna finishing up her treads, and also Avos now also got the Minthammer, so the start of the BKB is there. With 4 heroes of OSG actually sitting in the middle lane, they really want to make something happen, and I was actually saying that
Radiant's middle tower has
I don't
been
think they
denied.
should. They should be in a position where they want to try and from their heroes up, get their core items up, or perhaps they feel like they already have those. Even though I don't feel that way.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what Oslo Gaming are going to do from this point. One of the issues that I already said with their lineup is it's a very eclectic lineup. They have a couple of heroes who are pretty good at pickoffs. They have Lich, who's relatively good at team fights, but mostly he's a laning hero. This is a real problem for me because once they're behind...
Yep, and they're dead. Double kill for Dendi indeed. Yeah, once they're behind, they're gonna stay behind. We've got Funnick has got 600 gold already after his Vanguard. Dendi's starting to build towards what seems to be a Dagon. I wouldn't be surprised to see that turn into Dagon. And
yeah,
there we
it's
have
gonna
it.
be.
The recipe has arrived. Oh, hello, Havost. What the? What the hell?
He's just farming, it's fine.
Well, he's forcing them in the hands of Krilly, or in the hands of Puppy rather. So in the end, he's actually still getting the kill. Soul Assumption comes out. That's quite a lot of damage to Puppy, but he has got a mech. So this is just baiting it out. He can actually turn around for a black hole, and he gets it too. He gets the Familiars win there as well. Freezing Field comes out. They should be able to take down the Slark. Indeed, they are. Dendi with a kill. Visage still goes down as well. Worthy sacrifice of Dendi, or Puppy rather. I think he's kind of sad that he didn't get the Visage in that black hole, but actually, never mind. The GG gets called out. It is Oslo Gaming that tap out. It is a 16-minute game, but Na'Vi will take it. This time the disconnects are not because of the server. But Na'Vi, they keep their hopes of going to the playoffs and StarLadder alive.
Yeah, Na'Vi showing a little bit more of a revitalized, an aggressive style that they really haven't shown for a while. That just kind of like, we can dive you all the time. I mean, Funnick, he got kills on the off lane. Things just went really bad from Oslo Gaming from very early in the game there. Even their first trade didn't really go entirely in their favor because they lost their Slark.
Yeah. Losing Slark, never good. Look at that level difference. It's just quite insane. Says it all. Well, we're going to see Na'Vi again. This time, perhaps a bit more tougher opponent. On the rankings, at least, or actually, Flipside is not doing better on the rankings than OSG. Flipside actually hasn't got a physical win just yet, apart from Death Wins. But that's the team that they're going to face next. So Flipside Russia will take on Na'Vi here in the next game in about 18 minutes time, which is going to be the official starting time of the game. If everybody is here earlier, perhaps we'll start earlier. Perhaps even because we are maybe expecting more server issues and we already want to be like ahead of schedule because we're going to get late later on. Perhaps. Anyways, we're going to have that game coming up next, so stick around for more StarLadder action in just a moment.